Furaha Sabbath Siku. Furaha Sabbath Siku. Furaha Sabbath Siku. Happy seventh day. Mimi kupenda na wewe. I love you. Moja kupenda, one love. Kwangu nini ni nini? Kwangu nini ni kugu. God is good. God is great. How y'all doing? Welcome to another reading from the Book of Life. Yeah, that which they call the Holy Bible, so on and so forth and so on. I'm reading the same book, but I'm reading it as it's supposed to be read, from page 1 forward. And I'm also pronouncing the names as they should be pronounced. Now, on my last reading, I found out, totally amazingly, there's a female Noah. Wow. It's amazing. As I read, I'm learning. I'm teaching, not preaching. If you ever meet me, I ever meet you, kindly do not refer to me as a preacher. I do not preach. I am like my brother, Jesus in English, or Jesus in the true mother tongue, Kiswahili. Now, John, English, Jan, Kiswahili 12:44, you will find that Jesus says, he that truly believes in me, believe not in me, but in he who sent me. You know, said, mortal man, I feel the same way. He's not coming back. What? He didn't do what he's supposed to do? What he coming back for? For those of y'all who keep believing in the Bible. I'm not here to make anyone think my way. What I'm doing is for myself, as well as those who choose to get with it or whatever, to follow, go along with it or whatever. I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to do, which is to seek knowledge. Now, as like I said, I just found out my last time about a female Noah. I have read this book. I thought I had. Bam. Female Noah. Anyhow, one more time. I'm not a preacher. I'm a teacher. My job is to elevate the God of God's words to those who seek the God of God. Period. Enough said. Now, whoa, we're going to start, at chapter 28 of Numbers. Chapter 28, second book of Moses. Now, the God spoke to Moses, saying, command the children of Israel and say to them, my offering, my food for my offerings made by fire as a sweet aroma to me, you shall be careful to offer to me at their appointed time. And you shall say to them, this is the offering made by fire, which you shall offer to the God. 2 male lambs in their first year without blemish, day by day, as a regular burnt offering. The one lamb you shall offer in the morning, the other lamb you shall offer in the evening. And 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil. It is a regular burnt offering which is ordained at Mount Sinai for a sweet aroma, and offering made by fire to the God. And its drink offering shall be 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. In a holy place you shall pour out the drink to the God as an offering. The other lamb you shall offer in the evening as the morning grain offering and as drink offering. You shall offer it as an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the God. And on a Sabbath day, 2 lambs in their first year without blemish, and 2/10 of an eighth of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil with its drink offering. This is the burnt offering for every Sabbath, besides their regular burnt offering with its dark offering. At the beginnings of your months, you shall present a burnt offering to the God, 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year without blemish. 3/10 of an eighth of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil for each bull. 2/10 of an eighth of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil for the 1 ram, and 1/10 of an eighth of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each lamb as a burnt offering of sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the God. Their drink offering shall be half a hin of wine for a bull, 1/3 of a hin for a ram, and 1/4 of a hin for a lamb. This is the burnt offering for each month throughout the months of the year. Also, 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering to the God shall be offered, besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. On the 14th day of the first month is the Passover of the God. And on the 15th day of this month is the feast. Unleavened bread shall be eaten for 7 days. On the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. And you shall present an offering made by fire as a burnt offering to the God. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year. Be sure they are without blemish. Excuse me, fast. I didn't know it was going to be this hard to open it. Pardon me. Back at you. And you shall present an offering made by fire. Excuse me. Apologize. Verse 20. Their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an eighth. You shall offer for a bull, and 2/10 for a ram. You shall offer 1/10 of an eighth for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. You shall offer these besides the burnt offering of the morning, which is for a regular burnt offering. In this manner you shall offer the food of the offering made by fire daily for 7 days as a sweet aroma to the God. It shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. And on the 7th day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. And on the day of the first fruits, when you bring a new grain offering to the God, at your feast of weeks, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. You shall present a burnt offering as a sweet aroma to the God. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year, with their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an eighth for each bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 kid of the goats to make atonement for you. Be sure they are without blemish. You shall present them with their drink offerings besides their regular burnt offering with its grain offering. Chapter 29. And in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. For you, it is a day of blowing the trumpets. 7th month, on the first day of the month. What they call the 4th of July. Ooh, wow. Tripping. You shall offer a burnt offering as a sweet aroma to the God. 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year without blemish. Their grain offering shall be fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering to make atonement for you. Besides the burnt offering with its besides the burnt offering with its grain offering for the new moon, the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and their drink offering according to the ordinance as a sweet aroma offering made by fire to the God. On the 10th day of this 7th month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall afflict your soul. You shall do No, you shall not do any work. You shall present a burnt offering to the God as a sweet aroma, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in the first year. Be sure they are without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, besides the sin offering for atonement. The regular burnt offering with its grain offering and their drink offerings. On the 15th day of the 7th month you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work, and you shall keep a feast to the God 7 days. You shall present a burnt offering, an offering made by fire as a sweet aroma to the God. 13 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year. They shall be without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for each of the 14 lambs. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 2nd day present 12 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs in their first year without blemish. And their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number according to the ordinance. As 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, besides a regular burnt offering with its grain offering and their drink offerings. On the 3rd day present 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 4th day present 10 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number according to the ordinance. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 5th day present 9 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 6th day present 8 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat is a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 7th day present 7 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat is a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 8th day you shall have a sacred assembly. You shall do no customary work. You shall present a burnt offering, an offering made by fire as a sweet aroma to the God. 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offering for the bull, for the ram, and for the lambs by their number according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat is a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. These you shall present to the God at your appointed feast, besides your vow offerings and your free will offerings, as your burnt offerings and your grain offerings, as your drink offerings and your peace offerings. So Moses told the children of Israel everything just as the God commanded Moses. Chapter 30. Then Moses spoke to the heads of the families concerning the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which the God has commanded. If a man makes a vow to the God, or swears an oath to bind himself by some agreement, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. That's why I put forth every effort. If I say it, I'm going to put forth every effort to do it. There, from the beginning, if a man, as we say, if a man makes a vow, that he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceed out of his mouth. A lot of people say I talk a lot, but I don't talk a lot about a lot of things. I talk more about this than anything else. Or if a woman makes a vow to the God and binds herself by some agreement while in her father's house in her youth, and her father hears her vow and the agreement by which she has bound herself, and her father holds his peace, then all her vows shall stand, and every agreement with which she has bound herself shall stand. But if her father overrules her on the day that he hears, then none of her vows nor her agreements by which she has bound herself shall stand. Indeed, God will release her because her father overruled her. If indeed she takes a husband which bound by her while bound by her vows or by a rash utterance from her lips by which she bound herself, and her husband hears it and makes no response to her on the day that he hears, then her vows shall stand, and her agreements by which she bound herself shall stand. But if her husband overrules her on the day that he hears it, he shall make void her vow which she took and what she uttered with her lips by which she bound herself, and the God will release her. Also, any vow of a widow or a divorced woman by which she has bound herself shall stand against her. Now, remember this. Numbers chapter 30, verse 9. Divorced woman. They was divorcing back then too. If she vowed in her husband's house or bound herself by an agreement with an oath, and her husband heard it and made no response to her and did not overrule it, then all her vows shall stand, and every agreement by which she bound herself shall stand. But if her husband truly made them void on the day he heard them, then whatever proceeded from her lips concerning her vows or concerning the agreement binding her, it shall not stand. Her husband has made them void, and the God will release her. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict her soul, her husband may confirm it, or her husband may make it void. Now, if her husband makes no response whatever to her from day to day, then he confirms all the vows or all the agreements that bind her. He confirms them because he made no response to her on the day that he heard them. But if he does make them void after he has heard them, then he shall bear her guilt. But if he does make them void after he has heard them, then he shall bear her guilt. These are the statutes which God commanded Moses between a man and his wife, and between a father and his daughter, in her youth in her father's house. Chapter 31. And God spoke to Moses, saying, Take vengeance on the Midianites for the children of Israel. Afterward you shall be gathered to your people. So Moses spoke to the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves for war, and let them go against the Midianites. Midianites, to take vengeance for the God on Midian. 1,000 from each family of all the families of Israel you shall send to the war. So there were recruited from the divisions of Israel 1,000 from each family, 12,000 armed for war. Then Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 from each family. He sent them to the war with Phinehas, as the son of Eleazar the priest, with the holy articles and the signal trumpets in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites, just as the God commanded Moses, and they killed all the males. They killed the kings of Midian with the rest of those who were killed: Avi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, R-E-B-A, Reba. The 5 kings of Midian. Balaam, the son of Beor, they also killed with the sword. And the children of Israel took the women of Midian captive with their little ones, and took as spoil all their cattle, all their flocks, and all their goods. They also burned with fire all the cities where they dwelt, and all their forts, and they took all the spoil and all the booty of man and beast. Then they brought the captives, the booty, and the spoil to Moses, to Eleazar the priest, and to the congregation of the children of Israel, to the camp in the plains of Moab by the Jordan, across from Jericho. And Moses, Eleazar the priest, and all the leaders of the congregation went to meet them outside the camp. But Moses was angry with the officers of the army, with the captains over thousands and captains over hundreds who had come from the battle. And Moses said to them, Have you kept all the women alive? Look, these women caused the children of Israel, through the counsel of Balaam, to trespass against the God in the incidents of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of the God. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has known a man intimately. Wow. Remember now, as I be telling people, when you start reading this book, you're going to realize, wow, some of the things that we did were horrific. And we did them in the name of God, homie. So, wow, sometimes you have to, wow. Just like you were just saying about the husband shall bear her guilt. Yeah, just as you accept and acknowledge your forefathers, you also have to bear their guilt. Wow, because of wow. Kill every male among the little ones. Wow. And every woman who has known a man intimately. But keep alive for yourself all the young girls who have not known a man intimately. And as for you, remain outside the camp 7 days. Whoever has killed any person and whoever has touched any slain, purify yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. Purify every garment, everything made of leather, every woven of goat's hair, and everything made of wood. Then Eleazar, the priest, said to the men of war who had gone to the battle, "This is the ordinance of the law which the God commanded Moses, only the gold, the silver, the bronze, the iron, the tin, and the lead. Everything that can endure fire, you shall put through the fire, and it shall be clean, and it shall be purified with the water of purification. But all that cannot endure fire, you shall put through water, and you shall wash your clothes on the 7th day, and be clean, and afterwards you may come into the camp." Now the God spoke to Moses, saying, count up the plunder that was taken of man and beast, you and Eleazar, the priest, and the chief fathers of the congregation, and divide the plunder into 2 parts between those who took part in the battle, between those who took part in the war, who went out to battle, and all the congregation. And lay a tribute for the God on the men of war who went out to battle, 1 of every 500 of the persons, the cattle, the donkeys, and the sheep. Take it from their half and give it to Eleazar, the priest, as a heave offering to the God. And from the children of Israel's half you shall take 1 of every 50, drawn from the persons, the cattle, the donkeys, and the sheep, from all the livestock, and give it to the Levites who keep charge of the tabernacle of the God. So Moses and Eleazar the priest did as the God commanded Moses. The booty remaining from the plunder which the men of war had taken was 675,000 sheep, 72,000 cattle, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 persons in all, of women who had not known a man intimately. And the half, the portion for those who had gone out to war, was in number 337,500 sheep. And the God's tribute of the sheep was 675. The cattle were 36,000, of which the God's tribute was 72. The donkeys were 32,500, of which the God's tribute was 61. The persons were 16,000, of which the God's tribute was 32 persons. So Moses gave the tribute, which was the God's heave offering, to Eleazar the priest, as the God commanded Moses. And from the children of Israel's half, which Moses separated from the men who fought, now the half belonging to the congregation was 337,500 sheep, 36,000 cattle, 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 persons. And from the children of Israel's half, Moses took 1 of every 50, drawn from man and beast, and gave them to the Levites who kept charge of the tabernacle of the God, as the God commanded Moses. Then the officers who were over thousands of the army, the captains of thousands and captains of hundreds, came near to Moses. And they said to Moses, "Your servants have taken account of the men of war who are under our command, and not a man of us is missing. Therefore we have brought an offering for the God, what every man found of ornaments of gold, armlets and bracelets and signet rings and earrings and necklaces, to make atonement for ourselves before the God." So Moses and Eleazar, Eleazar the priest received gold from them, all the fashioned ornaments, and all the gold of the offering that they offered to the God from the captives of thousands and captives of hundreds was 16,750 shekels. The men of war had taken spoil, every man for himself, and Moses and Eleazar the priest received the gold from the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tabernacle of meeting as a memorial for the children of Israel before the God. Let me see. Okay. Chapter 32. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of livestock. And when they saw the land of Hazeh and the land of Gilead, that indeed the region was a place for livestock, the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke to Moses, to Eleazar the priest, and to the leaders of the congregation, saying, Ataroth, Dibon, Yazed, Nimrah, Heshbon, Ele, Shaban, Nabal, and Bayom. The country which the God defeated over the congregation of Israel is a land for livestock, and your servants have livestock. Therefore they said, if we have found favor in your sight, let this land be given to your servants as a possession. Do not take us over the Jordan. And Moses said to the children of God and to the children of Reuben, shall your brethren go to war while you sit here? Now, why will you discourage the heart of the children of Israel from going over into the land which the God has given them? Thus your fathers did when I sent them away from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when they went up to the valley of Eshcol and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, so that they did not go into the land which the God had given them. So the God's anger was aroused on the day, and he swore an oath, saying, surely none of the men who came up from Egypt, from 20 years old and above, shall see the land of which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me, except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizite, and Joshua, the son of Nun, for they have wholly followed the God. So the God's anger was aroused against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the congregation that had done evil in the sight of the God was gone. And look, you have risen in your father's place a brood of sinful men to increase still more the fierce anger of the God against Israel. For if you turn away from following him, he will once again leave them in the wilderness, and you will destroy all these people. Then they came near to him and said, we will build sheepfolds here for our livestock and cities for our little ones, but we ourselves will be armed, ready to go before the children of Israel until we have brought them to their place. And our little ones will dwell in the fortified cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our homes until every one of the children of Israel has received his inheritance. For we will not inherit with them on the other side of the Jordan and beyond, because our inheritance has fallen to us on this eastern side of the Jordan. Then Moses said to them, if you do this thing, if you arm yourself before the God for the war, and all your armed men cross over the Jordan before the God until he has driven out his enemies from before him, and the land is subdued before the God, then afterward you may return and be blameless before the God and before Israel. And this land shall be your possession before the God. But if you do not do so, then take note, you have sinned against the God, and be sure your sin will find you out. Build cities for your little ones and folds for your sheep, and do what has proceeded out of your mouth. And the children of God and the children of Reuben spoke to Moses, saying, your servant will do as my Lord commands. I said Lord because It's a baby L, and it's a man calling another man Lord. My God is the God of God. No Lord, no Master, none of that. The God of God. Period. I say Lord, I'm talking about what one man talking to another man about. And that's it. Now, your servants will do as my Lord commands. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our livestock will be there in the cities of Gilead. But your servants will cross over, every man armed for war, before the God to battle, just as my God, just as my Lord says. So Moses gave command concerning them to Eleazar, the priest, to Yahshua, the son of Nun, and to the chief fathers of the families of the children of Israel. And Moses said to them, if the children of God and the children of Reuben cross over the Jordan with you, every man armed for battle before the God, and the land is subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead as a possession. But if they do not cross over armed with you, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. Then the children of God and the children of Reuben answered, saying, as the God has said to your servants, so we will do. We will cross over on before the God into the land of Canaan, but the possession of our inheritance shall remain with us on this side of the Jordan. So Moses gave to the children of God, to the children of Reuben, and to have the family of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land with its cities within the borders, the cities of the surrounding country. And the children of God built Dibon and Ataroth and Aroer, Atroth and Shopham and Yazer and Yogbeha, Beth Nimrah and Beth Haran, fortified cities and fold for children. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon and Elealeth and Kir Jathaim, Nebo and Baal Meon, their names being changed, and Shebma. And they gave other names to the cities which they built. And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it and disposed the Amorites who were in it. So Moses gave Gilead to Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt in it. Also, Yaheh, the son of Manasseh, went and took his small towns and called them Havoth, Yair. Then Noba went into Cana and his village, and he called it Noba, after his own name. I'm going to end it right there. Chapter 33. Yeah, I'm going to end it right there at chapter 33. Yep. Enjoyed learning something myself. As always, I'm steady learning something every time I read this. I'm not trying to, I'm learning. I'm teaching. It's like I tell people, when I'm talking to people and so on and so forth, a lot of times I'll be trying to tell them, as I'm talking, a lot of times I'm learning at the same time as I'm talking. That's why Steve Harvey says something like that, and I understand the concept now. Because that's how the God of God works. He does. You just have to be aware of man. You cannot overrule the power of man. And you also got to realize and recognize, that some of the things that we keep trying to blame everybody else for, we did it. We did it ourselves, under the name of God, man. So, it makes you, start readjusting your thoughts and your outlook of life, because you have to take responsibility as you want to lay claims to the great things they did. Wow, you have to lay claim to the not so great things too. But at the same time, man, where did the fly come from? Anyhow, That's amazing to me, but then again, not really. Not when when you talk about big God of God, it's never really truly amazing when things just happen to come about of nowhere. You know, the truly amazing thing is when it doesn't come about of nowhere, when you, especially pertaining to talking about and wishing to teach and connect those who seek a connection to the God of God, not God. It's more than one God. The God of God, first commandment, beware of other people's gods. Therefore, bam, it's got to be more than one. Don't forget his name, the God of gods. He was God until he created Adam. And when he created Adam, therefore there was two gods. Yeah, because he said in my image. He said, show nothing. Nigga wasn't show till he put him to sleep and took the rib. Then he took the rib and man became mortal man. He was show. Nigga, you show the rib, now you need a woman to fulfill you. Mother Nature. Father, God. All the animals got a mate but you. Let me walk with you, beside you, but most importantly, behind you to have your back. Bam! With you, beside you, but most importantly, behind you, so you can know your back is covered. Anyhow, asante sana. Moja kupenda. Mimi ni kupenda na wewe. Full hasabe siku. Full hasabe siku. Peace.